welcome into another episode of Southern Section this week. I'm Claudette Montana.
And I'm Jonathan Camus. We're here at St. Pius X St. Matthias Academy here in Downey, where the boys basketball team just captured a CIF championship victory over Lucerna, but the job's not finished, right, Claudette?
The job's not finished. Tonight they take on Westchester in the CIF state playoffs. And earlier today, I caught up with two members from the boys basketball program. You also caught up with their head coach.
Yep, here's Coach's Corner. Jonathan Camus here with head coach Dante Archie of St. Pius X St. Matthias Academy, and congratulations to you, man. You guys beat Lucerna in the CIF Division III AA championship game, beat them by 31 points, I believe, for your guys' second CIF championship in the last 4 years. Coach, how did it feel to bring another championship here to this school?
It was a great feeling. It was great for the team, for the fans, the community, everybody that was around us for the years, especially after last year, how the season went. It was great to get that win and just see how happy they were.
You guys have won 21 games in a row. Your last 11 games, you have an average margin of victory of 29 points. You guys are killing teams out there. What has been the key to asserting this level of dominance here, Dante?
Just staying with it, defense, making sure that they know we can't slip up. So if that means we have to have harder practices and do more just to keep them locked in, that's what we do. So that's the main thing with us, is just keeping them locked in, keeping them in great shape, and just letting them know that, it can happen and we can lose the game, but it's not going to happen because we're going to work hard.
Now, these two championships you guys have accumulated over the past couple of years, that's a first ever for this school, right?
Yes. For basketball, it has the 2 championships in school history.
And is that for all sports?
Yes, all sports. Wow. All sports, yes.
So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, it's good, and it's good that they're buying in, and if you come watch us play, you can see how much fun they're having, and
yeah, absolutely. And you guys have won league for the last 3 seasons, going 30-0. That's so you win CIF, but you win league. That's super important too, right?
Yeah, no, it's very important. And the progress of the program, and next year we'll be in the new league. We'll be in the Delray League with the likes of Bishop Montgomery, St. Bernard's, and St. Paul, St. Anthony. So that's good for us and our school.
Yeah, you want to play the best competition possible, and that's just going to lead to more great things for you guys. We have to talk about this run that Tyrone Riley's been on. I mean, my goodness. In the semifinals, he had, over 50 points. The guy turns out in the championship game. What kind of level is he playing at right now?
He's playing at the next level. It's coming to him. He's letting it come to him. He's not really forcing it that much. When people are open, he's hitting them when they're open. So when you do that a lot, it's going to come back to you. Most likely, everybody on our team knows he's the best player, so they're going to find him when it's needed, and he's stepped up to the plate.
And now you guys are in the CIF State Division II regionals. You'll start tonight, right? Yes. In the first round. But hey, here you go again. So as a coach, you win CIF, but how do you keep your guys motivated? Because, hey, the tournament doesn't end, right?
Yes, I tell them we're 0-0 right now. We don't have a 29-4 record. We haven't won 21 in a row. We're 0-0, and now it's a new season. That's the same way we approached the CIF playoffs. It was a new season, and now it's a new season. And if everything's willing and goes great, we'll play 5 games, and we'll have a lot of fun after that.
Coach Dante, before I let you go, I got to say, I love the beard. It's James Harden-esque. How much are we putting into this? How many times are we going to the barber shop? Once a week, twice a week? What are we doing to maintain this beauty over here?
I just make sure I keep it clean. Go to my barber. Shout out, his name is Big Zo. I call him Big Zo. And I played with James Harden when we were younger. I'm cool with a lot of his people that surround him. So I get that everywhere I go. So a lot of people know who James Harden is. Hopefully one day they'll tell somebody else that you got the Dante Archie beard. So
100%. I want one too, man. I used to have one. Anyways, all right. Thanks to Dante Archie. I'm Jonathan Camus, and that's been your coach interview this week.
All right, joining me is Douglas Langford, sophomore here at PMA, and we're going to do some rapid fire. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What is your shoe size?
Size 17.
Favorite off-court activity?
Praying. Praying before a game, yeah.
Wow, that's the nicest answer I've ever gotten. That's really awesome. Favorite thing about living in California?
The weather. You just never know what you're gonna get. I like hot sunny weathers, so yeah, that's about it for me. It's not cold.
Okay. Well, it's a little cold today. You got your coat on.
Yeah, I got my coat on.
Favorite music genre or album?
I don't really have a preference. I just be listening to anything that's catchy and it gets me in the mode. Like to get me locked in for a game.
Okay. Favorite artist?
Ooh. I'll say Lil Baby. Lil Baby's my favorite artist.
Okay, your teammate approves. He's giving you the nod of approval over there. That's very good. Worst habit?
I'd say eating candy for practice. Yeah.
Don't let your coach hear that. He's right over there.
I know.
Favorite food?
Gotta say go with lasagna. Lasagna's favorite food.
That's a good choice. Favorite sneaker?
Ooh, Kobe's. Kobe's a fire. Favorite sneaker.
Favorite player in the NBA?
Giannis.
Okay.
Giannis.
Favorite high school basketball memory?
Oh, winning a championship. That's by far going to be something that's going to stick with me forever.
But what if you win the state championship?
Well, it's going to be even more better. I mean, that's the goal.
Okay, well, name something you can't live without.
Food, water,
3-point buzzer beater or slam dunk for the win?
Slam dunk for the win.
Favorite app on your phone?
Instagram. I'll be on there a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just because your head coach is standing right over there, best thing about your head coach? Maybe his beard?
That too, but I mean, he pushes me, and that's something that, other coaches, like over summer, they don't do that, but, he's there for me. Like, he's my uncle, like what my mom said, he is my uncle. But, I mean, the way he pushes me and motivates me, that's something I like about him.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play could be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
Time for the Ask the Expert segment, and this week we have Lance Smith of SB Live. Lance, how are you doing?
I'm good. Jonathan, so awesome to see you on the show. You already know I've been a Camp Chronicles fan for 4 years, so super awesome to see you on the show and wearing an SB Live shirt.
Yeah, happy to represent. Lance, we're talking about the girls basketball state playoffs. I love talking about girls ball, and we're going to start off in the open division. And when you talk about the open division, we're going to talk about Sierra Canyon. They're undefeated. They're 30-0. They have the all-world player Juju Watkins. They're coming off a CIF championship win over Etiwanda. Do you have a sense that these girls are still ready, hungry, and willing to win yet another championship?
Absolutely. Last year, Sierra Canyon, as happy as they were with the state championship, they were not satisfied by that. They came back with a chip on their shoulder, wanting the Southern Section chip, the Southern Section championship and the state championship. No team in at least 4 or 5 years has done that. Every year it's been a different team to win the Southern Region Open Division, go on to state, then the team that won the Southern Section Open Division Championship. It would definitely be making recent history if Sierra Canyon does that. And needless to say, if they go on to finish the season undefeated, win another state title, they are the unanimous national champion on top of that. So I absolutely believe they are as hungry and motivated and fired up as they were a week ago or a year ago. And yes, they're ready to bring their best. I have no doubt.
Now, we don't want to crown them yet because they will play the winner of Mater Dei and Sage Hill on Saturday. But also, we might see a rematch with Etiwanda. That was the CIF CIF section championship game last week. So that could be a juicy matchup in next week, right?
Absolutely. I mean, those teams don't consider themselves rivals because they're not from the same area. They don't have the rivalry history. They have their own traditional rivals, but on the court, what you see is enough to constitute one of the best rivalries in the country just as of the last 2 years. Last year, of course, Etiwanda wins its first ever Open Division championship against Sierra Canyon in a game where they were down 15. A week later, they run it back in the state playoffs, and Sierra Canyon gets them. Both of those are on Etiwanda's court. That ended Etiwanda's season and national championship hopes. Last year, it was a little bit more neck and neck. There was no major underdog or favorite. This year, Etiwanda comes in, still one of the best teams in the country, but they did have 2 losses. Sierra Canyon, the consensus #1 coming into that. They were the favorite. They played like it. A lot went against Etiwanda, and Etiwanda still was able to push them. It was a 13-point finish, but it got closer than that. It was down to 7 with a couple minutes left. I think it's very clear that Etiwanda has a chance to beat Sierra Canyon if they can make it back to that. But like you said, first they have to beat La Jolla Country Day. Last year, early in the season, that was one of the big games, a win over La Jolla Country Day for Etiwanda that put them on the national map. And then this year, La Jolla Country Day was the only team before Sierra Canyon from California to beat Etiwanda this season. So there's not a huge gap between those 3 teams. Clearly this year it's been Sierra Canyon, La Jolla Country Day, Etiwanda in that order, but with paper-thin margins. And yes, Etiwanda versus La Jolla Country Day should be just as good as the first iteration. And whoever wins that game, of course, will be the underdog against Sierra Canyon, but they should have a real chance. It's going to be a thrilling week. And you mentioned Sage Hill versus Mater Dei. Those are a couple other teams that know each other pretty well. Just as of the last year, they played at Mater Dei both of the last 2 regular seasons in the Matt Denning Nike Hoops Classic. Both of those times, Mater Dei won. Last year, that was a blowout. This time, Sage Hill was missing their starting center, Annabelle Spots. Not a 20-point a game scorer, but a really important member of what they do, or important piece of what they do. And now they are healthy, and they're heading back to Mater Dei in a couple hours. I'm going to be there. It's the 2 clear-cut best teams in Orange County and the clear #3 and #4 teams in the Southern section. Whoever wins that will be a massive underdog against Sierra Canyon. I cannot emphasize that enough. But both of those teams are playing their best ball of the year, and whoever wins that game will be ready to give Sierra Canyon their best shot.
Yeah, never doubt Kevin Kiernan and those Monarchs. They work their magic sometimes when you least expect it. Let's quickly talk a little bit about Division I and D2 if we can here, Lance. Big surprise, Ontario Christian, the #1 seed. They're out. They're out. Chaminade, I believe, is playing Orange Lutheran next. Is that correct? Yes. And Brentwood is still alive. We visited with them not too long ago. I guess gave them some good mojo because they went on to win the championship. Just kidding, coach. It's all you guys. They are playing Santiago of Corona, who you called one of the scariest teams around. Why?
So Santiago has been pretty unpredictable this year. They've had some amazing wins. They've had some surprising losses, but they have beaten Mater Dei and Sage Hill. So they're the only team in the Division I bracket to be able to say that they beat the 3rd and 4th seed in the Open Division. They're kind of a team where when it rains, it pours, and they added some new pieces this year. It took them a while to get their chemistry, but they can play fast. They're extremely athletic. They're long. They have shooting. They have size. I mean, they're just a complete team that's a little bit, not the most consistent week to week, but their A game is a top 5 A game in the Southern section. And they've proven for the second season in a row that they too tend to peak in the playoffs. They beat Windward in the last game of Open Division pool play. That was the only game of pool play where the lower seed won. Now, Santiago was the 7th seed. Windward was the 6th seed. But just a few weeks before that, Windward had beaten them by 21. And then Santiago comes out and wins that game by 18. So with Ontario Christian down, And of course, they were the 1 seed in Division I. Like you said, it's a shocker. Chaminade, another dangerous, kind of unpredictable, but very dangerous, especially for a 16th seed. Holy cow, that's a dangerous 16th seed. It's safe to call Santiago the favorite now, I think, in the bracket. But would I be surprised if Brentwood came and beat them? Not at all. Brentwood, they're small, they're tough as nails. They have beaten so many bigger, more, heavily favored teams. And I don't think anyone would be shocked if Santiago won by 25. I don't think anyone would be shocked if Brentwood ran him out of the gym. So, there's a lot of parity this year in the upper ranks of the Southern section outside of just the top 3 or 4 teams. And we have a Division I Southern region bracket that has to be considered the most wide open of any of them in the last few years, last 5 years, maybe even last several years. So pretty much every single team that's left in the mix has a legit chance to emerge as a regional champion and state finalist.
You took the word right out of my mouth. Exciting, parity. You love to see it. Thank you to Lance Smith from SB Live for breaking it all down. Make sure you read up on all his articles online. Thank you very much. That's been your Ask the Expert segment.
All right, joining me now is our student athlete of the week, PMA basketball superstar Tyrone Riley, who's coming off of a CIF championship win. Walk me back to that moment when you guys were crowned champions. How'd that feel?
Oh, that felt great, especially that's our goal, one of our goals this year, to win CIF championship, get a ring. Fell short last year in the semifinals. That was devastating to us. So winning this year was definitely a hump that we got over, and it was amazing for us.
Let's talk about your performance. 33 points, 11 rebounds. What was working for you in that game?
The mid-range game was for sure where I got most of my points. My coach, in the first 2 minutes, he felt like I was forcing shots, told me to calm down, be collective. So once I calmed down and got used to the game and the tempo of the game, the points started coming to me as I was making the right plays.
And we have to talk about your 53 points in the semifinal game earlier this season. Why do you think you've been on such a roll in this stretch of the season?
It was just a mindset that I had. I didn't want to lose this year, especially in this playoff run. So I had to come with a better mindset and be a bigger leader and take a bigger role and step my game up for us to win the championship.
Talk about being a bigger leader. Obviously, now you're a junior. How have you embodied and really taken on that role as being a senior member of this team?
I have probably some of the most experience on the team because I'm a junior, so I've been through most of the situations that the younger classmen haven't been through. So talking them through it, keeping them calm in the game when they're not hitting shots, and they make a turnover, they make mistakes. So I got to keep them up, keep their confidence up, so later in the game I can use them effectively.
Well, you guys, this next challenge is trying to win a state championship. The road begins tonight against Westchester. What do you guys need to do to come away with a win?
We just need to play our game that we've been playing. Don't change up anything. Run the floor, get them moving, move the ball on offense, hit open shots, play defense, crash the rebounds, limit them to one shot while we get 3 to 4 and go to our same game plan.
And what would it mean to you to win a state championship this season?
I didn't mean a lot because that was one of the goals I set this year for myself, to win a state championship.
All right. Well, I do want to talk about your recruitment because you are the hot commodity on campus here. You got a lot of offers on the table. Talk to me about how that's been going for you and any updates.
It's been going pretty good. Possibly going to pick up soon, not sure yet, hopefully. But I've been just staying calm and collective, not jumping to any decisions yet, talking to my coach about it, talking to my parents about it, and seeing what's going to be the best fit for me.
You do have a lot of offers, though, from schools in California. USC's on the list, Pepperdine's on the list, among others. Is staying close to home a factor for you at all?
It could possibly be a factor. I'm not sure yet. Still got to weigh the other options, but staying home could possibly be a good option for me also.
All right. Well, what are you looking forward to the most about tonight's game? I know you got a home crowd, which is pretty exciting.
The crazy part is I've played with some of these kids in middle school, so playing against them tonight is going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be a good matchup, good energy, and it's something I'm looking forward to.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Even more basketball content on the way, as we were there last week for this epic championship game in the Open Division. It is St. John Bosco versus Centennial, and you are not going to believe this ending.
Southern section this week. Thanks so much to all of you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks to PMA Warriors for hosting us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.